Hello my loves, and welcome back to the 111 day mind body soul quest. This is day 4. My name is Kylie Null. If you're new here, hi. I am a spiritual and success realignment mentor, as well as a trauma formed energy healer. Rebellious also the internet, and I've made it my mission in this lifetime to help women heal from their past trauma and claim back their sovereign divine power so that they can step into being the conscious creators of their own reality. And I'm so excited for day 4 of this 111 day quest. I feel like I'm always, before every episode, I'm so excited to share this. But I truly am, because I feel like this accountability to having an episode every day for the first 111 or for the 111 days is really such a divine honorance to this journey for myself, but also such a divine honorance for just this process. And for those of you who are connecting on this journey with me, for those of you who are tuning in, perhaps there's certain episodes that will call to you more than others, but this is not just me honoring myself throughout this journey and my soul. Just taking a deep breath here. I've been a little bit anxious today. But I'm also like just honoring you and the fact that you're also invested in this journey, and that this is going to impact the people and the souls that it's meant to. So today's code that's dropped in, which is quite interesting for me, is really the code of being present, and the importance of presence in our journey, and the importance of presence in our quest to manifesting our dream lives, our big dreams, towards healing and going through this whole journey of just being human, is really our ability to be able to be in the present moment. And you know, this is so interesting because there's so many things that I want to speak about as this topic comes to mind for me about presence. And I feel like today has really been that divine lesson. It has really been a divine lesson of presence for me, because today I felt every single emotion under the sun. I felt anxious. I'm still feeling anxious, which is strange. I literally sat with my husband before recording this episode, and I was like, I'm so anxious today. Like, this is just beyond me. Feeling anxious today for no reason in particular. And I've had rage come up today of old friendships, of old hurts that I've experienced in past friendships, particularly last year. And there was just so much rage boiling up within me. And I actually sent my energy healer and shaman a message. I was like, hey, I have an intention for our sessions tomorrow. I want to do a sacred rage release because this is what's been coming up. And it's so interesting that actually all these emotions, and I have such goosebumps saying this, that all these emotions have been coming up for me. And the code for today that dropped in this morning was presence. Be present in the journey. Be present with these things. And when we've gone through experiences, this has particularly been my experience as well, of going through quite a bit of trauma and traumatic experiences throughout my life. Dissociation was my jam. I can dissociate like this. I can literally sit here and I'll get this glassy look in my eyes, and I'll be in a completely different space in a different time. And it's so interesting to see how, as human beings, and I can even recognize these patterns in my own life, how we start to use things to distract us and to become crutches for our dissociation. This anxiety, I see you, I feel you. It's okay. You're here. You don't have to stay here. You're not my truth. There you go. I just had to ground me in that second. Or ground myself in that second. We'll often use things to allow us to dissociate, whether it's for example, for myself, I threw myself into bodybuilding for very much so after a very intense breakup in 2016. It was very abusive, very traumatic, and I threw myself into the bodybuilding space as a distraction and dissociation, and that very much ended quite volatilely for me because I never dealt with things. I never dealt with my emotions. I just kept pressing them down. And I always think of suppression, and when we don't actually deal with the things coming up for us, it's like a bouncy ball that you're pressing down into the water. You can only press it down until a certain extent when it shoots up and knocks you in the face. And realizing like these elements where I've used crutches for dissociation. There were even times when I was drinking quite hectically. I've now been sober for quite some time. I actually want to be like, hey, I want to tell you how long I've been sober for, but it's on my phone now. But I've been sober for quite some time now. I started my sobriety from alcohol last year. And one of those reasons was also because at one stage I would drink a lot to dissociate. It would kind of help me like switch off. And I realized that these things are not actually helping me deal with what's coming up in my being. It's not actually allowing me to heal and fully step into my sovereign power, because I'm just kind of pushing them to the sides and they're becoming skeletons in my closet, as opposed to spring cleaning my closet and dealing with the things and actually bringing it to the surface and being like, hey, like this has come up. And for some time, like I remember even in like past just past experiences, I would throw myself, whether it was work, whether it was alcohol, whether it was anything. Like I would even even just scrolling mindlessly on my phone or watching TikTok. Like I want to delete TikTok off my phone as well, because I'm like, no, you're a distraction. I would like scroll on TikTok endlessly, and that would be in moments of trigger, in moments where I felt things that I didn't want to deal with in that moment and be present with it. I would use things as a dissociation, as like a distraction. And as we were going through this quest, for you to ultimately step into the woman that you've always wanted to become, for you to ultimately hold that divine power of being that conscious co-creator, of just having that like Empress Queen energy to you, it's really understanding that the more we're able to actually sit in the present moment and allow these feelings to come up, allow these old memories perhaps to come up, and actually just sit with them and be like, like I did right now. I'm still feeling a little bit anxious, but I actually sat with my anxiety and I'm like, okay, anxiety, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, but you are not my truth. And I'm not going to allow you to be my truth. And even just saying that, I can really feel that anxiety like calm down. And there's a lot of power in being able to be present, because we live in a world where masking up our emotions, putting a plaster on things is like the go-to. You have a pain, take a painkiller. Oh, you have a headache, take a painkiller, you'll be fine. Oh, you have this, let's fix it quick fix. Oh, you like, and this is the thing, like I'm even thinking of psychiatric medication right now, especially for like things like depression and anxiety. And I'm like, I have such a twofold relationship with psychiatric medication. Like on one hand, I'm like, I fully understand its place. I studied psychology up until my master's honors degree. I literally thought I would be a clinical psychologist, that would be my calling. But so I very much understand that realm. That's one thing I want to say. I'm not just saying these with like blind eyes and like no, this is not coming from any ill intention, is what I'm trying to say. But in realizing that especially with psychiatric medication, it numbs and blocks down so many things that we don't actually deal with, that we don't actually fully allow ourselves to comprehend with. So I'm like, I see the place, and also there's different ways. There's better ways to incorporate it. And even just with that medication within itself, like, oh, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling depressed, pop a pill, you'll feel better. As opposed to actually sitting with it and being like, well, what is the core wound? Like, what is the core reason that I'm feeling this way? Why is this coming up in my field? Why is it still present in my existence? And being able to then dig deep, and that takes courage. It takes courage to be present. It takes courage to dig deep into one's soul and actually really sit with it and be like, like, why is this coming up for me? Let me revisit that trauma. Let me actually revisit that space. Let me build the tenacity, the character from within. Let me actually start to develop the skills and the ability to overcome these things that are now popping up in my field. Because every like go-to book that you will read on like manifestation and stepping into your divine power, they're all like, be present. Be present in the present moment. That's where your power lies. That's where the quantum field is in the present moment, right? But presence is more of a state of being than just trying to marshal your thoughts and trying to just like not obsess over the past or think too much about the future and just be like totally focused on what you're doing now. Like, I think the deeper layer to presence that we can really learn within this journey and in this mastery is, yes, that element of presence, but also being able to fully deal with and comprehend what that presence brings. To fully deal with and comprehend that, ooh, when I'm fully present in the moment, there may be things that pop up. Perhaps emotions and experiences and things of the past that you don't want to revisit, that you don't want to feel again. But yet here they are. They've come up because they need your attention. And so this is a divine invitation for you. Like, I've been sitting here with my anxiety and my rage, and it's so interesting. It's like I literally went through all the cycles of grief today. I first felt deep sadness over a friendship that ended. I had a very close friend last year, and my husband and I had our wedding ceremony last year. We got married a few years before that, in 2019. We only had our wedding ceremony with like close friends last year. And this morning I just sat with deep sadness in my heart, because I'm like, oh wow, like those relationships are no longer there. And suddenly my sadness turned into very deep rage. And now the rage has left, and the rage has like surpassed, but now it's left me with this deep feeling of anxiousness. And it's interesting to see how these emotions are circulating through me, and as I hold space for them, to see the divine lessons that they drop in. And you're really just allowing these divine lessons to come in and be like, okay, I see you. I see the rage, I see the sadness, I see the anger, I see that you're coming up, I see the anxiety. But within myself, I know that I am my solitude. I am my own anchor. It reminds me of the Tower card in the Tarot. You can have solitude from within and allow the craziness to happen around you. And the calling really for us, if we want to master being in the present moment, which then opens up the field of possibility, that then opens up your ability to manifest whatever it is you desire, to create the life of your dreams. Like, when you are fully fucking present, you can do anything, my babe. Like, really, you can do anything. There's a reason why every guru in like Kingdom Come has tried to master being present. That's a reason why meditation is so big, to really anchor into the present moment and marshal your thoughts. To really become that master of yourself, have that conscious mastery. It's about being present, but also being present in those moments where you want to slip away. When you either want to dissociate, or you feel like, oh, I want to like pull on my crutch, like, oh, I'm feeling anxious, you know what, I'm just not going to think or deal with it, I'm just going to go for a run. Yes, it's incredible that you're doing the run to move the energy. That's not what I'm trying to like bash ahead on. But are you still dealing with that anxiety? Are you still sitting with it and being like, well, why are you here? Like, what are you trying to show me? What in my field needs to be released? Like, literally when this anxiety and rage came up, I was like, I want to release this rage and anxiety. Like, I don't want you in my field. Like, this is not a vibe. This is not the energy I want to hold. But if I wasn't present today, and it's so interesting because this morning I didn't even do my normal journal work. I literally, when I opened my fucking eyes, my guides were like, you got to be present today. And I was like, right, let's be present. Which is interesting because my presence this morning led to an incredible morning with my husband. We just had such a beautiful time together, ate breakfast, like just bonded. It was just so beautiful just to spend time, like quality time together. But the polar opposite, which shows dualities can exist, the yin to the yang, my presence also led me to experiencing deep anxiety and rage over things that happened almost a year ago, but that I can still feel is like lingering in my soul. It's still left its residue. And so imagine I just felt all these things, or if I was just like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna either like just drink it away, or I'm just going to like have a joint, not think about it. Like, imagine like those dissociations started like pulling out, and you're not present in the moment to actually fully just be like, I am here right now, right here. So consider, like, where are you bypassing your presence? Your presence is your power. Where are you bypassing your presence? To fully be present in this moment is not just to take in like, oh, the sky is so beautiful, the leaves are so green, like look at, like, it's not just that. Presence is also about being able to allow the emotions, the thoughts, the things to flow through you that are coming up right now, and to be able to sit with them and be like, Is this something that I want in my field, or is it something I don't want in my field? And to be able to sit with that discomfort without allowing it to completely rattle and destroy your being is what my guides are telling me. To be able to sit with this presence and be like, I'm not going to allow you to move me. I'm not going to allow you to disrupt my peace. I'm not going to allow you to take me away. It's so funny, for the month of October, I've kind of gone on this mission to do like a sober October. And that's going sober of all plant medicine, not doing my microdosing, nothing of the sorts. And literally today when I felt this anxiety, I'm like, I just want to get my microdosing pill. I just want to pop like my mushroom pill, because when I microdose, especially with anxiety, it's always helped me to like anchor into my body, release, heal, feel more at peace. And I was like, no, you're not going to do that. You told yourself you're having this like month, which is interesting because my guides led me to do this like sober October, which super interesting. I'm like, you're being purposefully led through these next, like, how many months is in October? You're gonna laugh, or how many days? You're gonna laugh how I do this. Literally count on my knuckles. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 31 days. 31 days. I'm like, no plant medicine. I still drink my blue lotus tea. It helps me with my body recovery, especially with exercise. It helps me sleep better. No, I'm like, nothing else. Like, stay in your absolute sovereignty. Like, stay here, feel, be, integrate. Those are the words coming through to me. Feel, be, and integrate all the work that you've done. And so even just sitting with this and being able to record this episode, it's hilarious because I had so much resistance before recording this episode. I'm like, cool, I want to speak about presence, but I don't know what. And I'm sitting here and all these things have channeled through me and I feel so energized and it feels like my anxiety is lifted. I'm like, oh, this is why. As a divine reminder of why I started this 111-day quest is the mastery of the mind, the body, the emotions, and the soul. This is the work that it's in. It's being able to master these nuggets. So with that being said, my love, I want you to look at like, where in your life are you using things as crutches for dissociation, for taking you away from what you're meant to feel in this present moment? Are there things that come up for you? Do you sometimes find that you feel grief or anger or anxiety, whatever it may be, and whenever it comes up, you're just like, nope, I don't want to feel you. I'm just going to like distract myself and take away. Or are you willing to sit with it and be like, why are you here? What are the lessons that you want me to learn? I am the divine creator of my own reality. I am a sovereign being. I am in control here. I'm in charge. I'm in power. You're a conscious soul. You hold so much power. As opposed to feeling powerless within your own body, as opposed to feeling like you're a slave to your emotions, or you're just like sitting here and you're powerless within your own skin. You're like, oh my goodness, like I fear this so much. As opposed to just stepping into your power and being like, there's nothing to fear. So I'm gonna sit with this anxiety today. I'm gonna have my Sacred Rage release tomorrow. I'm so very excited for my Sacred Rage release, and I'm really going to allow this anxiety to flow through me and out of me. To be like, you know what, I'm not going to take my microdose. I'm not going to try and pull myself away from this for whatever reason. But because it's here, I know that it needs my attention. And that also comes with a lot of compassion. So when you find that things come up into your field that you don't want, emotions, memories, whatever it may be, hold yourself with compassion and curiosity, while simultaneously being like, you know what, I can see you, I see you here, but I'm not going to pull away from this. I'm going to lean in and see the lessons that it has to teach me. Okay, my love. This is a divine episode on just presence. A little bit of a different angle, which I think is beautiful. But I will see you tomorrow in day 5. Bye for now.